and welcome. This is Agam Vakil. You're watching the F&O show, and in this show we take you through all that is happening in the futures and options space in Indian equities. A quick look at how the markets are faring, and they are in fact looking at further covering of shorts at the moment, and in fact we're looking at gains as well. So the Nifty is up as much as 1% at the moment, and well, we continue to see gains there. It reckons towards 22,900 at the moment, 25 points short. So you can't really rule that move out, and especially given today is also the weekly options expiry. So, it's a completely ball game there. But on that note, let's bring in our experts for today. We have Ajit Mishra of Religare Broking and Nilesh Jain of Centrum Broking, who's joining us on the show. Good morning to both of you, and thanks for joining in. Ajit, I start with you. Things are looking up once again. What's your assessment?
Yeah, good morning, Agam. So definitely, indeed, a positive relief, welcome relief for the participants after a very sharp cut on the election day. And the good part is that we are seeing participation across the board. Earlier, the kind of decline that we were seeing in the broader indices, that was slightly, keeping the participants on the back foot. But now with recovery in the broader indices as well, as you rightly mentioned, so we have recouped most of the losses of the election. So we feel that as long as we are holding about 22,600 mark, which is the short-term average, which we reclaimed yesterday, the tone is likely to remain positive, and we can gradually inch toward 23,000, 23,200, 300 levels in days to come. Similarly, banking is also looking, poised for recovery, but the upper band of this channel in which we are currently trading in exists around 50,400 to 500 marks. So that will continue to act as a strong order. So the risk reward for banking seems slightly skewed towards 1:1 or 1:1.5 ratio. So comparatively, Nifty looks better if somebody is having a positional point of view for the index.
Okay, so that's the view as far as the Nifty is concerned. Well, let's move on and get Nilesh's view here. As you are positive on the Bank Nifty at the moment, what sort of a structure would you deploy in terms of options, or for that matter, would you go along on futures, and what levels would you keep in mind?
So Agam, as we've recommended that since we are closer to the immediate resistance, which is around 49,800 mark, I would rather prefer and wait for any dip intraday to look for any buying position. So closer to around 49,000, 49,200 zone. That would be the area where I would prefer initiating a bull spread with 49,000, 49,800, 50,000 as a call spread. In case if somebody is looking for purely for the intraday, then also you should wait for any dip around 49,400, because 49,800 I feel that for the intraday at least is going to be a strong early, and we are just 200 points away from that zone.
Okay. All right. So that's the view, an overall view as far as your benchmarks are concerned. Now let's talk about stocks which are on your radar. But before that, firstly, I want to take up the constituents of the Bank Nifty and take a look at how things are faring there. And then perhaps we can take a look at other stocks which are buzzing. But let's pull up in. And so that's what we have in terms of some of those stocks in the futures which is buzzing. With that, let's take a look at what our experts have to recommend in today's day of trade. Ajit, stocks on your radar today?
So Agam, both stocks on the long side. So first on the defensive pack, in fact, we have seen the entire pack, the pharma, FMCG and IT doing exceptionally well, and we expect that there could be a bit of a beater in between, but the tone is likely to remain positive. And today also we are seeing that Biocon has been maintaining its positive tone and has been gradually inching higher. It's a catch-up move that we are seeing in the Biocon, because other pharma major, they have done their part. So now we are seeing gradually also Biocon inching towards its previous swing highs. So we are eyeing 330 levels in Biocon in the near future. 306 should be your stop, and you can go long in Biocon at current levels. Another stock that we like from the IT space is HCL Tech. The stock has finally reclaimed its long-term moving averages after consolidating for nearly 2-3 weeks below the same, and we are seeing good traction in the volume front as well. So we expect this recovery to strengthen further, and 1398 is something that we are eyeing for the intraday with the 1356 as a stop.
All right, and let's also go across to Nilesh for his picks for the day. Nilesh.
Right, so I have two buy recommendations. First of all,
views on the markets and also giving us a handful of trading ideas. But we move on.